This video I'm going to be talking about is Mauricio Ruffi, the Brazilian Conor McGregor. Now all you have to do is watch Mauricio Ruffi fight to see the similarities to the karate stance McGregor that everyone fell in love with in the early 2010s, mate. 12. You can see it in his fighting style. The way he fights looks so much like McGregor. It's obvious he's been inspired by McGregor, but when it comes down to it, Ruffi has better physical attributes than McGregor did. He's 2 inches taller than McGregor with an extra inch of reach, and he has a bigger frame as well. He's just a bigger lightweight. It's like every single generation of lightweights, or just any fighter in any division, just keep on getting bigger and bigger. We're going to be having heavyweights in the flyweight division soon. We have 6'3" dons coming in bantamweight. Did no one see that Rocktown was facing off against that 6'3" massive guy? Like, what? But let's get straight into this. Mauricio Ruffi Ruffi is not his actual name, by the way, is part of the Fighting Nerds who won last year's award for the best gym in the USA, with their 4 horsemen being Carvalho, Gene Silva, Mauricio Ruffi, and Carlos Prates, all undefeated in the UFC and getting KO after KOs, putting on fight after fight, finish after finish, hyping up at us fans, doing what is needed to be done. These guys are single-handedly saving these divisions. All you have to do is look at both Conor and Mauricio Ruffi's first 3 fights to even see in the UFC, to even see the similarities. First fight in the UFC, Ruffi, Jamie Mullarkey, UFC 301, Pantoja Urseg, round 1, 15 seconds into the fight. Not 15 seconds, 18 seconds. I was 3 seconds off. This is when you first started seeing the clips. You first started seeing the comparisons between him and karate stance McGregor. We just look at Conor McGregor's first fight in the UFC. Marcus Brimage KO, first round, 1 minute left. Then we go second fight for Ruffi, James Lontop, UFC 309, unanimous decision. He did dominantly beat him. This James Lontop's head is literally made of cement. You could have thrown a brick wall at him and he wouldn't have gone down. I do not know what that guy's made of. And you look at Conor McGregor's second fight in the UFC, Tadpole Max Holloway. He didn't finish Tadpole Max Holloway when he was 20 years old in his UFC debut. But obviously, you go, oh, Max Holloway, one of the best fighters of all time, like arguably better resume than McGregor ever had, blah, blah, blah. But obviously that's Tadpole Holloway. But then, like, it's so similar. It's so similar, the run they've been on, their first 3 fights. It's literally a carbon copy. He's literally a Brazilian McGregor, but with a better team around him. Like, you can't tell me the Fighting Nerds isn't a great gym to be part of. Them all pushing each other, them all, like, we can see, I don't know. Carvalho is number 5 in the middleweight division, about to be looking for a title shot in his next 2 fights. Gene Silva's about to fight Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell is number 12 or 13 ranked in the lightweight division at UFC 14, which, if he wins, will give him a ranking spot. These are all people that are going to be going on runs for the title, and they're all in the same gym. Like, imagine that atmosphere in there. Like, just imagine it. Carlos Prates, welterweight, Gene Silva, featherweight, Mauricio Ruffi, lightweight. The 3 of them, such similar weights. The sparring they can do, the rounds they can get in. Like, it's insane. Then we look at both their third fights. Bobby Green, UFC 313, KO, wheel kick. Definitely the craziest KO of this year so far, at 100%. The way it clipped his chin, it was beautiful. He didn't even see it coming. You can literally see it in the clip. He did not see it coming for a second. It just hits him, he's like, ow. It was beautiful. But then you look at Conor's third fight, Diego Brando, round 1 minute in. And we were 3 minutes in with the King Green fight. Bobby Green, damn. And after Conor got those first 3 wins in the UFC, he got given Dustin Poirier, who was number 5 at the time. And Conor, from those 3 wins, which obviously Max Holloway is a good win and it doesn't compare to any of the others, but that's only because Max Holloway went on to do later things in the sport. That was his UFC debut. But he was number 11 or 12 when he was fighting Dustin Poirier after these 3 wins. And obviously, Conor had probably had more hype at the time. But Rufy has loads of hype right now. The fighting nerds have loads of hype right now. Even if he wasn't putting up these crazy performances he is now, even if he, like, being part of the fighting nerds helps promote his fights, helps promote him as a champion, not even as a champion, but promote his fights and bring eyes to his fights. This means Rufy should be looking at a top 10 matchup. Maybe 11, 12. I don't really think we should be giving him Benoit Saint Denis. We don't need to be doing Benoit that dirty. I think either give him a call out in Beneil Dariush or Mateusz Gamrot himself. Because we need to see if Rufy's grappling and wrestling can hold up in the top of the lightweight division, because we have not seen that so far in his UFC career. Obviously, that's because it hasn't been very long, and usually the fights aren't going for that long either. But I think the UFC should be looking to give him a top 10 level matchup, because if he gets that win in the next 2 fights after that win in the top 10, he'll be looking at a title shot in the next two years. And with this hype and with everything that's going on with Conor right now, they need a new star. Alex Pereira just lost to Magomed. Magomed has some hype, not really that much. We need a new star. Sean O'Malley, lost. Leon Edwards, never a star, lost. Tom Aspinall has potential, but they're letting John Jones bullshit him around. But I just don't see Rufy losing to any of these strikers in the top. Like, you look at even him versus Gaethje on the feet. You're telling me Gaethje winning that matchup? I don't think so. I'll argue with you about it, but Gaethje got a good uppercut, and he's good. He's technical, not very, but he is technical. But I just don't know if I would pick him winning a fight against Rufy on the feet, and that's a top 5 level fighter. Obviously, we don't know about his grappling and his wrestling, and that's why I'm saying give him Mateusz Gamrot. Yeah, it could decrease his hype a bit, but we need to see him against a grappler or a wrestler, so we know he has that ability, and we know he's the cardio to do that. And another thing is there's a lot of older fighters in the lightweight division. The average age is like 35. Out of the top 10 fighters, the only young fighters are Arman and Ilya. And Ilya's not, he literally said 2 years ago he's looking to not be around like for that much longer. I think that's cap. I think he's going to be around for a good 3 more years at least, if he keeps winning. But other than like that, all of these fighters are going to be retiring in the next couple of years. This gives Rufy the perfect opportunity to just come in and be the new champion in the division, the new light in the division, to take it towards that next era, after the Islam era, maybe even after the Ilya era, if Ilya beats Islam, or if Arman beats Islam. But obviously Arman's a younger champion, so Arman would probably fight Rufy, so would probably Ilya. But Islam's not going to ever fight Rufy. We're never going to see that fight. This does give him the perfect opportunity to just get 2-3 good wins in the top 10. Maybe get a Beneil Dariush, a Mateusz Gamrot, maybe a Dan Hooker. He could even get a title shot after that. Like, you don't know. You do not know. But I do not see, he's not going to be fighting Islam. I think we're going to be seeing Rufy be fighting for a belt in late 2026, early 2027, yeah. And he's going to be champ. Mark my words, he's going to be champ. I'm jumping on this hype train. I've been on this hype train, but I'm standing my ground, and I'm not backing down.